I bought these stealth wing mirrors for £8 from Temu. Now, I know what you're thinking, how awful can they be? Why on earth would I fit these to my bike? Well, just hear me out. I was hunting on eBay for a set of stealthy, trick-looking, customizable wing mirrors. And I've had some Barre mirrors before, but I didn't really get on with them at all. And so I was hunting on eBay and I found a set of wing mirrors just exactly like these ones for about £40. And I thought that £40 is a reasonable amount to spend on a set of budget, trick, aftermarket mirrors that will do the job. I went into the seller feedback, as you do, and lo and behold, someone in there said you can actually get these exact wing mirrors off Temu for a fraction of the price. And I don't know if you know, but the user interface on Temu is just a wash of colours and offers and discounts and buttons. And I went through and I found the exact same mirrors for £8. For £8, so £4 postage and packaging to my my address in the UK, so £12 all in. Now, I've heard a few horror stories about Temu in terms of the quality of the product you might get. It's a bit hit and miss. But I've just bought a new house and I don't have much expendable cash, and I thought, you know what, I usually don't mind paying for quality, but I thought these were just so ridiculously cheap. So I thought, why not, let's just gamble and roll the dice. And so here we are with my Temu fitted stealth wing mirrors. So in this video I'm going to be reviewing build quality, adjustability and functionality, how well they perform, actually providing a view rearward behind me. In the UK here it is a legal requirement to have mirrors on your bike, and they do perform quite an important function. So strap yourself in, it's time to look in the mirror. Build quality. Now, you must remember that these are £8 wing mirrors, £12 all in postage and packaging. So the actual unboxing and purchasing experience, leaves a lot to be desired. The box they come in is a very bland cardboard box, and the mirrors themselves were actually wrapped in cling film, the same kind of cling film that your mum would wrap your jam sandwiches in when you went to school as a kid. So I didn't film that because it was incredibly underwhelming and you probably would have fallen asleep. The mirrors are made of what I believe is metal. I think it's metal. It's an aluminium, I think, and they do feel quite sturdy in the hand. They do have a bit of weight to them, and they are painted. They have a kind of a mottled, textured paint finish on them, which doesn't feel too bad actually. It feels quite nice. It's not a kind of a gloss finish, so you're not going to get that sheen on the mirrors, and overall they look quite nice. There is obviously screw hole here where you can actually fit a threaded bolt through to attach them to your bike, and underneath just about here there is another Allen key bolt where you can then adjust the tightness, the tautness of the vertical axis of adjustability. Overall build quality, they feel quite nice. They're not flimsy. If you put them in your hands you can't really bend them unless I'm an average human male. I could bend them, I guess, if I really tried my hardest, but if you are a super strong person you might be able to bend them. But ultimately they feel quite nice. They're a nice solid bit of metal, painted nicely, and they come with some nice finishing touches, like you've got the rubber grommet here which comes in and protects the mounting screw. So yeah, and they look, the mirror itself is nice and clear. You actually can get two different options for the mirror. You can actually get the blue finish one here, which I've got, and also a clear one. So you've got a tinted one and a clear mirror. I went for the blue one completely by accident because the Temu interface just, I didn't know really what I was pressing, so I just ordered the blue ones, and they work quite well. So, but I'll get to functionality in a moment. But overall build quality has exceeded expectations for £8. So in terms of build quality, yeah, spot on. So next up, adjustability. You really don't get much in the way of adjustability. Now in the video I will compare these to, like, for example, OEM mirrors that you get from Yamaha, and also some more premium level products which might have adjustability, but for these you really don't get much in the way at all. If I just pull over here and just show you the level of adjustability you get with these mirrors, you can only adjust them in a kind of a vertical axis like that. You can twist them up and down to adjust to get the angle of reflection that you want. But in terms of laterally adjusting, actually moving them this way and that way to, you know, provide a more wider or narrower field of view, that has to be done using the threaded bolts in here. So you can't really adjust these on the fly like you would OEM mirrors or more premium products. So if you do want to kind of adjust it and actually move the mirror outwards to perhaps looking more in towards your blind spot, you're going to have to pull over, pop these rubber grommets off, get your Allen key out, make an adjustment, and then tighten it up again whilst getting it in the right position. So it is a bit of a faff. So just bear that in mind. £8 mirrors, you're not going to be able to adjust these or move these outward without loosening the threaded bolt in here. So in terms of adjustability, all you're going to be able to do is adjust these up and down, but you have to get it in the right angle for you. So just bear that in mind. So in terms of adjustability, there's not a lot. So next up, functionality. And I've got to be honest with you, I've got to be straight up, these work really well as mirrors. I really chuffed with them. £8 and you can actually use these as mirrors, and they work pretty effectively. Now, I've had bar end mirrors before. The ones I had that kind of curved design to kind of provide a wider field of view. And I always found it quite hard to judge what was behind me, judge distances and stuff like that. So, but these are just a flat mirror design, and once you've got these in the right kind of lateral angle, the view you get behind you is exceptionally good. Now I've got this right hand mirror angled directly behind me, so anything that's behind me I can see pretty clearly, and I'd say there's about 50 to 60% of the mirror I can see out of. The rest is my arm, and that's nothing really new with bike mirrors, especially more trick aftermarket ones. You're going to see a bit of your elbow or a bit of your shoulder or whatever, but the rest of the mirror, about 50 to 60% of the mirror, is angled perfectly to see behind me. So that mirror is great. That does exactly what it should do. The left one I've actually got angled slightly outward. So when I'm on the motorway, when I'm on the A1 or the high speed roads here in the UK, and I'm overtaking slower traffic, which will be on the left side of me, I've got this angled slightly outward, so a kind of an in-between between what's behind me and my blind spot. So as I'm passing vehicles on the left, slower vehicles, I kind of know really well as I've passed them and cleared them. I'll obviously still do a shoulder check, but this one is angled slightly out, and it gives me a nice view, and again works really well in letting me know when I've passed a vehicle or what's behind me still. So in terms of functionality, seeing behind me as I'm riding my bike, these are performing really well, so I'm really chuffed. Now I have just completed a job for my work where I've just ridden all the way down to London, ridden around London on a sweaty hot Friday during tourist season. I spent a good time riding around the city, the capital, and then rode another 100 miles back. I think it did well over 300 miles on the bike with these mirrors. So I've been riding in all sorts of the busiest motorways you can think of, the M1, the A1. I've ridden through the heart of the capital, and these work really well again in terms of looking what's behind me, filtering between cars so they're not too wide, whilst also providing great field of view when I'm on the motorways and navigating all of that traffic. So I've really put these to the test riding in some of the busiest roads you can think of here in the UK, and these mirrors have performed, and I'm really comfortable with them. So I was always a bit edgy with bar end mirrors, but these are really nice, and they just work. So in terms of £8, £12 all in to get these delivered to my door, and about 5 minutes to fit them, it's really, really good. There is a link in the description below to buy these mirrors or find them on Temu. They do come with a number of threaded bolt options to fit various different types of manufacturer bike. So Yams, Suzukis, Hondas, that kind of thing. Do check that to make sure they actually do fit your bike. So just bear that in mind, check the fitments, but you should be able to fit because they do come with a number of threaded bolt options. But comparing these to other mirrors, I think it's worth mentioning, your OEM mirrors from Yamaha that I used to have, you're not going to get the level of reliability because, again, these haven't been tested. I've had these on fitted for about less than a month. Yeah, I've done some arduous riding in them in that time, but, in terms of will they be still working the same in 6 months' time? Will they still have the finish, in 6 months or whatever? There is a question mark about that. So we'll do a quick update post perhaps on the channel just to let you know how I'm getting on with them. But you know, in terms of comparing these to OEM mirrors, you're not going to get the reliability that you're going to get. You're not going to get the adjustability or the level of visibility. So just bear that in mind. And also more premium products like your Rizomas, you know, your sexy Rizomas, they're no doubt going to come with a level of finishing and attention to detail. They're going to have a level of adjustability. You're going to have that buying experience that you're going to get when spending a few £100s or several $100s on a pair of mirrors. So just bear that in mind. These come in a very bland brown box wrapped in cling film, so just bear that in mind, okay? But again, £8, less than the cost of a tank of fuel. And I've got these really cool stealth mirrors, and what I like about them as well is you can when you're parked up and you're taking photos or videos of your bike, you can switch the mirrors down, you can angle the mirrors down, and they can kind of have that wing look, and they look quite stealthy and cool. And I have had a couple of comments on some of my posts about the bike saying, oh, where did you get the Rizomas? And I'm like, yeah, they're my Rizomas, my Temu Rizomas. And there you have it. I am thoroughly impressed with my budget Temu Rizoma wing mirrors. They look stylish, they look cool, they actually work, and they cost less than the price of a tank of fuel. So yeah, there you go. If this video has been useful to you, then please like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And in the meantime, ride safe. I'll see you next time.